Hey guys, it's layout update time. Oh, we're having fun taking locomotives apart and trying to stick in current keepers. Oh boy. Hey, so a little bit of clarification here. So this is the new Athearn ready to run, or is it ready to roll? I get the two mixed up. SD40-2 in Santa Fe here, beautiful locomotive, and there was some confusion that I mentioned in the last video as to what decoder this locomotive came with. Now, if you go on Athearn's site, I believe everything says it comes with a economy decoder, and even the documentation, which I'll show you here in a second. But when I went onto the actual site that I bought it from, it said it comes with a Tsunami 2 decoder, right? And which is kind of puzzling, because when I got it, I realized, well, wait a minute, this is not a economy decoder. At least I don't think it is. And here's the documentation. It comes with the locomotive, and you can clearly see it says economy diesel, and it says that your locomotive has an economy sound equipped, right, decoder. So that's where the confusion came, because I guess for whatever reason, I don't know if it was some supply issue or something like that, but they ended up putting in a Tsunami 2 decoder. So it does come with a Tsunami 2 decoder. It's the what is it, TSU 21 NEM8 decoder. So I think, I'm not sure if that's like one of their older, not that old, but a couple year old sort of decoder. This one at least has a label on it that on the other side that says 2020. And unfortunately, this decoder does not come with the quick plug, as you can see on the end of the current keeper. So you have to kind of cut the end off over here and solder to either the decoder or the actual, I guess you call it the motherboard underneath there, which is the preferred method. So I actually did email Soundtracks, and they promptly, like within half an hour, emailed me back and confirmed that the picture that they showed in a video they had posted a little while back about exactly where to solder is correct. And so that's good to go and everything, except this thing is huge, right? This is the standard Soundtracks current keeper. And I know there might be some new viewers here. So what a current keeper is just a bunch of capacitors in there. So when you put the train on the track, it actually stores up some energy and then feeds it back into the system. So if you're kind of running the train over maybe a dirty track and it loses connectivity on the wheels, the train's still going to keep going, and the lights are still going to stay on and everything else, and it'll keep rolling nicely over that because it's pulling power from the current keeper. So I had a few newbies there that didn't know what that was, but that's just that's what a current keeper is. But here's the problem. So I have pulled this thing apart, as you can see, and I've been trying to figure out where this ginormous thing can fit, and it just can't fit anywhere. Can't fit on top, can't fit back here because you got the speakers, and it can't fit, you can't even fit it into the cab here because there's kind of like a little bulkhead right here. So what I have done is I have ordered a, I keep getting this mixed up, TCS or TSU, I can't remember, or TSC, anyway, KA1 Keep Alive, which is basically the same thing, but it's a slightly different arrangement with the capacitors on here, and it's a lot smaller. And I found that like in my Athearn Genesis GP15-1, which has almost no room in it, similar to this SD40, I was able to kind of squeak that one in sort of towards the front end over here. So because it's literally a lot smaller than this. So I've got one of those on order, and gonna plan to install that once it comes in, which unfortunately is like in another week or so. So we're gonna end up running this thing without a Keep Alive or CurrentKeeper in it. Anyway, what I did do though, and we'll get this thing put together and take a closer look, I did start doing some weathering here. Now people were saying, hey, maybe you could do a video on the weathering. Well, I've already done a couple of those, but basically to start out with, I took a little matte finish and just kind of sprayed up the locomotive here just to dull it down a little bit so it's not all shiny looking like that, like shiny plastic. Anyways, so that's the plan for this thing. Let's just put them back together and get them over to the track, and then we'll take a look at a few other little updates I have on the layout. Alright, so we got them put back together, got them on the layout over here. So like I said, this is going to be a layout update. So we will run this guy just through the yard right here in a minute, but I just wanted to touch on a couple little updates for the yard that I've been kind of working on. So two things right here that we can take a look at is the track work at sort of the engine staging platform right here. Obviously, the locomotives stop over here and get their minor servicing even right here, and you get the kind of little drips and drops and everything. And so what I did was I kind of painted in the track that you can see right here. Just kind of dirtied it up a little bit, like there's all those little drips coming off of the locomotives and stuff. So the track right over there has been weathered, I guess, to reflect that a little bit. And then one other thing, this was just kind of I don't know, it just kind of came to my mind because I had it at hand. But you can see our two gondolas right there, and those guys always go to my Sanford & Son salvage. And so what happens at that industry there, they get old cars and other material and stuff like that. They break it down and then they ship it out of the facility with all sorts of stuff like, scrap loaded into the gondolas. And so I always had this one right here, which let me go ahead and put the camera down and then I will show you what exactly it is. So this little load right here, you can see it's just a bunch of rusted up stuff like that. It's actually parts and pieces from all sorts of different model kits that I had, and some of you armor modelers may recognize a few things in there. It's all the little extra parts and pieces that you end up having when you have a model kit. And since I model a lot of armor, meaning tanks and military vehicles and stuff like that, there's always extra parts and pieces. And so what I did was I just took all those little extra parts and pieces, glued them on a piece of foam board right here, and then just weathered them all up, painted them brown and covered them with different weathering powders and stuff like that. And that's my load right there, and it fits into any one of my gondolas by just slipping it in there. So the one thing is though, I only made one of them, and that industry takes 2 gondolas. So usually, if you noticed on the switching operations over there, I'm always dropping off one gondola that's empty and then picking up one full one, usually with that load in it. And I figured, well, I need another load. So I came up with, I had a piece of aluminum foil just lying around. And what I did was I just crinkled it all up and stuck it into the gondola like that, and then threw a little watered down black paint on it. But you can see all this is just a little piece of aluminum foil all crinkled up with a little bit of weathering on it, just to give it a little effect, right? But now it looks like a load of aluminum scrap or something like that. Just a little tidbit. Me, I'm always trying to do things on the cheap, and can't beat just a piece of aluminum foil crinkled up and stuck in as a load. So yeah, pretty nice. All right, enough chit-chatting about little things on the layout. Let's get this guy fired up over here, and then we'll just run him down the yard. I'll try to hold my camera still here. All right, we're ready to go. Ooh, sounded nice. I'm going to quiet him down just a little bit because I know that since I got this guy and I ran him for the first video there for the big reveal, he is a little bit loud on the camera, which is actually, I don't know, he sounds so good, I like it. But my camera is very sensitive, and as you can tell, even here, this is on the lower sound setting, it's still pretty loud, and I might kind of tone it down just a little bit more. So this is the quiet setting, and let's do the horn. Ooh, I love it. All right. Anyway, we get him pointing in the right direction here. Brakes off. So even without the CurrentKeeper in there, he runs real nice, especially if the track is, clean. Fantastic little locomotive. I highly suggest picking one up if you're an SD40 fan or just a Santa Fe fan. Great little addition. And the fact that it comes with a Tsunami 2 decoder can't be beat. Run them through here a little bit faster just to get out of the cars. Love it. So anyway, yeah, we're just going to pull this guy in or pull him out of the yard, then pull him back in, grab some cars, and call it a day. Since this isn't an ops video, even though we're going to run some trains, everybody wants to see trains running, even if it's a layout update. Hopefully we don't have any trouble right here on the turnouts. But I did want to, I got to go a little bit farther. I did want to say I was impressed by the response that I got from Soundtracks. Like I said, I emailed them with just asking them to confirm where I, have to solder the CurrentKeeper to the board. And they responded, like I said, within half an hour I had an email from them confirming exactly where it's supposed to go. And I'm a fan, if you haven't figured it out, of Athearn and also Soundtracks. Almost all my locomotives, other than the 2 scale trains that I have, are Athearn locomotives. I just love the way they run. I love the way they look, the details on them, and like I said, this one is the ready to roll one, and so it's not an Athearn Genesis, but hey, you could fool me. All right, I'm gonna go have some fun running this train, maybe, and we'll see you in the next ops video, guys. Take care.